So today we're reviewing
Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla vs. Kong is the newest installment in the MonsterVerse.
The fourth movie.
Yeah, this was our most anticipated movie of 2021. This movie, I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Get your butt in here.
Come here, kitty.
The cat's already disturbing our review. This movie, we have been waiting for so long for this movie. One of the most hyped movies, up there with Infinity War, as one of the most hyped movies ever. And what were your initial thoughts? Non-spoiler review, even though... What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, obviously, I had some majorly high expectations. I mean, we've been hyping this film up for over 2 years now. Probably ever since they announced it, which might have came back in like 2017, because when they announced this like MonsterVerse, that's really when we knew this matchup was going to happen. So I was expecting a lot of things. I mean, I knew going in it was not going to surpass the insane expectations I wanted to see in this film. But for the MonsterVerse and this film overall, I really enjoyed it a lot, and it's nearly a perfect film for us as far as like the action you see. You get what you want to see in a Godzilla vs. Kong movie. And it's really, really good. When I say perfect, obviously it's not like, for our standards, like movies that we like.
Yeah.
Does it entertain us? Was it good? Were the action scenes good? And I really, really liked it. And this was definitely a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, I definitely loved this movie. This movie, we had insane hype for it. And while it didn't fulfill everything I wanted, and it wasn't a perfect movie with every single thing that I ever wanted, I thought it was just phenomenal. I mean, without going into spoilers, it gives you what you want to see. I mean, you go about a few seconds without a monster on screen, another one's on screen. Starts out, you see monsters, it ends with monsters. I mean, that is what this movie is, and it really knows what people want to see. This movie, definitely, the people knew what people wanted to see, and you go here to see monsters throw down, and that's what you get. You get monsters throwing down, and so I definitely really love this movie, and positives. I really hope we get more. What are your positives with the movie?
I mean, obviously, just from the trailers and how this universe has been, the special effects were just absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10. Yep. You can't get any more realistic than this.
Yeah.
No complaints there at all. The action was great. There was a lot of stuff, like you said. I think this film probably was the best out of the entire saga of the MonsterVerse so far, about having the most action. As far as like monster matchups going on in fights, this definitely wins in that category for sure. Number one in the universe. I even thought the storyline was pretty good with like making you care for the characters, like as far as like Kong and Godzilla go, especially Kong. This is, in my opinion, this isn't really a spoiler, but I mean it's kind of a Kong movie. Or is that a spoiler?
I mean, well, I'd say it's definitely. You see it from the trailer. It's his point of view in a way. I mean he's with the humans.
And it makes sense because this is Kong's second film in this universe. Godzilla's had 3. Godzilla's had 2. Yeah. And Kong had 1. So this is definitely a Kong focused movie. But at the same time, that was still a matchup movie and like a kind of a combined.
Because they had to show off Kong.
Yeah.
Because he's the new Kong. They had to show him off.
But yeah, no, I thought this special effects were great. The setting was great. Where they fought was amazing. There was a couple of different locations where they fought, and all that was great. No complaints at all. The music was pretty good. There was pretty cool sound effects going on, mixed with the fighting. I think this movie did a great job. Like I don't want to spoil too much, but the Godzilla King of the Monsters did a lot of zooming in throughout the film, and this one did it much better in my opinion. There was very distracting in that one in certain scenes, but this one, just everything with the kaijus on it were just great. I mean, like every single fight, every single roar, it was just great. I can't say anything else. It's hard to talk. I want to get more specifics about it, but yeah, the special effects, the fight scenes, and the storyline, and I even enjoyed the side characters too, because like people like don't understand, like you're not there for them at all, but they did this to where like they don't give you a 20-minute backstory on each character. Like, people are complaining like you don't know who these people are. You're not supposed to know who they are.
Yeah, my positives about this movie are definitely the visual effects. That's what stands out to me the most. I mean, every shot is so great and beautiful in this movie. Every shot.
Yeah.
Literally every single shot.
The color.
Yeah, the color, the visual effects, the action. It's got to be the next positive. The action is phenomenal. It is gripping. I mean, there's a lot of shots where I was like grimacing, and that's I guess the next positive is the characters. These are not even real creatures, but watching the movie, you get attached to them, and in the fights, they're not just throwing punches and scratches, and it's just like mindless. It's like I'm actually each one. You don't want them to hurt each other, but it's like you do care, and each one like you're like grimacing, and at least I was grimacing and trying to figure stuff out, and it was definitely great. The action was great, and the characters were good. I mean, I thought the little girl character was a good character.
Emotion.
And there's a lot of stuff in spoilers that I have positives about that I can't go over, but the characters I thought were good, and the story was good, and those are my main positives. But why don't we go into some negatives?
The negatives for me, like I said, it's not really a negative per se, but it's just like the expectations we had. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to see. Certain things didn't really happen that I wanted to happen.
We'll
in
talk
the
about
film.
spoilers.
But like I said, what you're coming for, it fulfills on that without a doubt, and it goes above and beyond as far as the fight goes, and just Kong versus Godzilla, what you come for. And then I also think the pacing was a little too quick for me. I mean, I know a lot of people wouldn't like seeing these characters for like more than like the time that they gave it. But I mean, I wish this film was like 4 hours long and gave. I mean, at the same time, I know it's not realistic because of how much special effects that go into it. But the pacing was a little bit too quick for me. Even though, I mean, I still enjoyed it a lot, as you can tell from our like comments so far. But I thought the pacing was a little bit too quick, and they focused a little too much on one batch of the human characters. Like everyone else, they did perfectly. Like they showed them when they needed to, and like you said, whenever they cut to people, you were getting a kaiju or a monster on there real quick, and it was never too long or like boring. But there was definitely towards the end, it was definitely nowhere near like Godzilla 2014, where like a fight starts and it goes to something else. Like you get to see the fight, which they definitely got that down. But there was this one little aspect towards the end where I thought they focused a little too much on the humans, a little bit, but at the same time, it wasn't too distracting. But I think the pacing and a little bit of the focus away from the kaijus a little bit was an issue towards the end. But at the same time, the fights were great.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think, in particular, what you were just mentioning, the group of kids, and the one guy's not really a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one group in particular.
There's 3 characters.
I mean, I definitely think that when it cut to them, I feel like, I don't know, something about it, when it cut to them, it seemed like it was just detracting from the story, and it was kind of like, what is going on here? I know the one guy is like actually trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah,
and he's,
podcast.
Yeah, and he's trying to like figure out the Apex stuff. But I always thought when it cut back to the main characters, this person and this person.
Yeah, this girl from the town, and also Tarzan, Alex Skarsgård.
That's true.
And the villains, and honestly, any character like that. Like you said, it was not distracting. The little girl character, that was progressing the story, and I do agree. It was like that one group, these 3 right here, I'm sure we can find a picture of them. Yeah. It just seemed to be detracting from the movie, despite them giving us a couple good moments.
Yeah, that was one negative, was just that group. It just seemed like it detracted, and then basically everything else I can only talk about in spoilers. Mm-hmm. I thought the pacing was fine. I think there was one point where maybe I did think there was... Yeah, there was one pacing in particular. I think there's only one part where it goes from one point to another that I thought was too quick, like something was missing. There was only like one point like that. And then, there's other things I can only talk about in spoilers. Again,
there was not hardly any negatives. The dialogue was fine. People are saying, oh, the dialogue is really bad. I mean, the dialogue to me, like, once again, I mean, we're not filmmakers or like you need like perfect dialogue, but none of the dialogue was, I mean, every movie has some lines that don't really make sense. But this one was not detracting too much. Like, there's other ones where there's lines that were ridiculous, but nothing in this one was that bad to me.
All right, let's give our final thoughts on that. So, and score.
The final thoughts, once again, I really enjoyed this film. We've been waiting 10 years, it feels like, for this movie. I mean, it still feels like I'm waiting on the trailer to come out. I mean, the movie just came out.
Now we can go back and watch all the TV stuff.
Now we can go back, and like I said, it was a great film, and I think I wanted to see so many things happen that didn't happen, that were kind of ridiculous. It wasn't even about Godzilla or Kong that I wanted to see. And I also wanted to see something that, well, I'm not, that's a spoiler too. But there's something that didn't happen. I don't know. There's the only things that didn't happen that I wanted to happen, and it's kind of making me a little bit frustrated. Because like in our minds, like, I mean, everyone that watches this video probably has things they wanted to see and have like huge was outlooks on what this universe could be. Because there's endless situations and scenarios, matchups that you could see, especially with the Hollow Earth theory that you hear from like Kong Skull Island and all that.
Yeah.
Like it just opens up the door to so many different things, and I want to see a little more focus on that, just because that's why I love the Avengers movie so much, because like you're always looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
So there's certain things there that kind of disappoint me a little bit, but once again, you come here for Godzilla vs. Kong, and you get that without a doubt. The action's great, probably the best in the entire franchise, and it's an epic fight without a doubt. And I would have to give this film, Godzilla vs. Kong, definitely, honestly, because I'm a huge MonsterVerse fan, I'm going to give it a 9.9 out of 10.
Wow.
Because
okay.
The point one is a big point one, because there's a lot of stuff I wanted to see in there. Particularly this kaiju here.
We can't show it.
Yeah, you can't show that. But yeah, but obviously, there's, like I said, it was a great film. We're probably going to go see it at least 2 or 3 more times, without a doubt. We're going to buy the Blu-rays. And yeah, once again, just definitely go support films like these, because we need this universe to keep going, and I really want to see a sequel and 20,000 more movies in this universe pushed out soon.
Yeah, so my final thoughts, obviously I'm a monster fan. Can't tell from the action figures, and the past 300 videos on my channel, we do monster videos, do so many different monster videos, and I love seeing monster videos and these monsters fight. I mean, that's just what, I love seeing these movies. And this movie knew exactly what people wanted to see. And the visuals were just spectacular. I mean, I didn't notice one shot that was bad. And there was so much footage with monsters on screen. The action was great. The setting was great. I was just interested the whole time. And, I mean, as far as seeing monsters fight, I mean, there's one point at the end that I got chills. Like, it chills. It's such an awesome moment.
Yeah.
It's like, I even, like, I was kind of thinking the moment was going to happen, but then when it happened, it was still just like... Okay, the cat just opened our door.
We're Velociraptors.
So the cat has been waiting for us to do this review too. He's been missing the movie reviews. Yeah, there's a shot that gave me chills at the end. That it was just so awesome. The end fight scene with Godzilla vs. Kong. Yeah, spoiler. There's a fight between Godzilla and Kong. I was like gritting my teeth. It was just brutal. It was brutal, and I had a feeling they needed to make it brutal, and it was. Yeah, it was brutal.
Very realistic.
I was like, I felt I was going back and forth between who I was rooting for and what I thought was going to happen. And this movie was just spectacular. I want to go back and see it at least a few more times.
Yeah.
And that's why I give this a 10 out of 10. Because
and
this movie was just excellent.
No, this film definitely does Kong and Godzilla justice, and even another character they do very, very well at the end, and you'll find out.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how they actually can have us attached to these characters. This was so amazing.
No, the special effects were great. The fact that, like you said, there's not one shot at all that was bad is honestly remarkable. And it's
the
definitely
new characters are awesome.
Yeah.
The new monsters are awesome. There are new monsters.
Yeah. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think about Godzilla vs. Kong. For sure, go check it out. Support films like these. We need this movie to do very well.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the box office or the HBO Max, despite that being a horrible company. You gotta.
Well, luckily they've already got like $200 million from putting it on HBO Max, so hopefully that boosts this movie up.
Oh, true.
We gotta help them in the theaters though.
So thank you to this person for that. But no, thank you though for watching, guys. Definitely let us know in the comments what you think of this film. And again, can I give it a 10 out of 10? I give it a 9.9 out of 10, which is very good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Great film. Can't wait to talk about it more in the spoiler video, which I think we're gonna do in a live stream format tomorrow. So stay tuned for that.
I think it's the only way to do it.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I'm going to be looking in the comments to see what you guys think about it. What was your favorite scene, and who were you rooting for in the fight?
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, no spoilers. Let us know. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.